All right. So here we are in Reaper. I did get a question. I think it was like somebody asked a question about like the piano roll. So I guess I can start with that. And I did get my piano fixed, so now it'll automatically pull up in here now. Um, yeah. So the question they were asking was if you add in like a MIDI note, right? So I added a note, but you see my playhead didn't move. I have it set to where it doesn't actually move anymore, right? So in order to actually do this, I'm gonna go to your preferences. Once you're in preferences, you're gonna go to this mouse modifier, and you want to make sure your context is on MIDI piano roll, right? So once you're on the MIDI piano roll, you want to make sure you're on the left click because it might be on left drag first. So make sure you're on left click, and you want to deselect all notes. I mean, you can have it if you double click on the line, it'll bring you other options. You can even do like an action list if you want to. You can do an insert note. This is where you can do just insert a note. Basically, it'll add a note just like you can inside of FL Studio. So you don't have to worry about like double clicking to add a note. So yeah, this is where you would actually do that. So I have mine set on deselect all notes. So when the playhead is actually playing, like I can still add a note and it's not going to jump back to there, you know? So that's basically the purpose of that. And yeah, trying to think of any other like questions I've actually gotten about Reaper. Um, it hasn't been many, yo. Very interesting. But then again, not many people use Reaper the way I use it, so I guess there's that. And no questions. Okay. Um, maybe I should just make something. Yeah, I guess a question will spark up from there. So what I did find out is that you do have an option inside of Reaper to kind of have it to where your notes that you play on like your keyboard will actually go into or snap to a scale just by playing them. And how you do that, you would go up to your effects here. There's the other effects for your input effects, I should say. So once you're on your input effects, you want to go to the MIDI. I think I have mine in the favorites. Yeah. So this JS MIDI snap to key is what you want to find. Right. And you just open this up. So you can change your key right here to whatever key you want it to actually be in. Let's say we do, let's do a C sharp, right? And then you can change the scale. You can make it into a natural minor. You can do a major. You can do a whole tone, Dorian. So let's just leave it on Dorian for now, right? And then basically this mode here is what gives you the option to remap it, or you can even block the notes. So if I play the wrong note, it won't actually play at all on the keyboard, which is pretty cool if you're trying to learn how, what chords you want to use. But the remap lets you play any chord. So I'm only playing white keys, right? And this key, which is the F, is I'm playing the F, but it's playing an E, right? I'm playing the white note for D, and as you see, it's playing C sharp because that's not in the scale. So I thought that was really cool that they have that option in there to kind of lock in your keys or snap to snap to key straight from your keyboard while you're actually playing it in, so you don't have to worry about being out of key. So if you want to do like your little riffs or whatever, you don't have to worry about it being out of key of whatever your scale is. So I thought that was pretty dope. One second. All right, that was fun. All right, so let me know if you guys have like any questions, man. I just I'll just probably just mess around for a bit and then just jump off here. So all right, so what I can do is actually stretch this out to about 8 bars, and then I'm just going to move these around so I can grab all of them, right? Use Alt to grab it, right? And just stretch these out. And then just add another instrument. Let's go with I use Expand so I can make a pad. Expand has some really good pads if you don't know. Usually it's fairly cheap to actually get. But there are times where they try to charge you like $100 and something bucks for it. Don't do it. But if you do see it for like $10, I say grab it. It's actually a really good VST to have. And what I can do is just grab this effects and drag it down here, the MIDI thing. So now my bass is in. Yannick, what's good? Thank you for joining, man. Appreciate you. I was trying to do a Q&A, but no one wanted to ask questions, so here I am making a beat. Appreciate it, man. Let me know if you guys have like any questions. Anybody in the chat have any questions? Let me know. All right, so why is this piggy not playing? Ah, too low. All right. Let's just give it another string. Let's change the actual things on here. So what type of questions I want? Oh, Reaper questions, all questions. It doesn't matter. I was just trying to do a Q&A and, you know, see if you guys had any questions. HS was good. Tool which can tell me what chords from the MIDI controller while I'm playing it. I would say there's a yes and no for that. There's this chord tool thing here that I have inside the piano roll. What is it called? Is what I always forget. So basically, this does like a analyzing live of your chords, and you can even export them and do a whole bunch of different things. I forgot what it's called though. I don't know why. I don't remember what it's called. But I know it's by Feed the Cat, and I have it inside of my MIDI video. So if you're looking at the MIDI editor video, I actually put it inside there as well. So like, let's say I go to this one, right? As you see, it's telling me what the chords are, what note it is. So if I go over all of them, it should give me so it'll tell you like what the chord is here, E major. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And I was saying in the beginning of the video, you can actually have it to where you can lock your playing notes to scale. If you go to your effects, and this one here is called the JS MIDI snap to key. So you can snap your stuff to key automatically right from this tool. So whatever you're playing, it'll stay in key. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'll probably do an extensive video on it, but if that's what you're asking, that's how you would actually do that. All right. I guess let me know if you guys have any other questions. This might be a short live. Oh no, it was good. What's the best way to export stems? Is consolidate the best way. Thanks for the live stream. Hey, no problem. All right, so from usually when I do my stems, like usually everything, you know, is kind of I go by the timeline. That's my favorite way to do it. I'll go to render, and you do have an option in here for stems, so you can do selected tracks as stems. So whatever track you actually have selected, you can do that as stems, right? And Reaper will automatically have them on here. And where is it at? Oh, I don't have anything selected. All right. So like, all right. So I have them all selected, right? So each of these could be a stem, right? And you have this render 4 files. So all of them will actually render really easy. I usually like to use the time selection, so it'll just do the whole entire track. I don't have to worry about it, them being different lengths. Usually this is when you're, doing the stem. That's my favorite way to do it. I don't like to necessarily do it with the other ways. And you can also have this one. I think it has one where it has a master as well. So yeah, selected tracks with master. So you can have a master track with all of them together, right? And then you have your stems. Where is that? Selected items. There he goes. Master mix plus stems. That's the one I was looking for. So you can do your master mix or whatever mix you already have, and then you can have your stems separated out. So I think that's probably the easiest way to kind of get it set up and do it. And then you can always make it into a directory. So like if you go to your browser, you put it to your desktop, you put a backslash, and then you can name the file whatever you want to. Like let's say Q a beat, right? So it'll make a folder on the desktop with whatever you name this right here. Right. And then you can change your, the untitled name to whatever you want it to be. You can have it as your project, which is probably the easiest way to kind of do it. But you have your wildcards here. So you can kind of just do whatever you want to do for it. You can do like the date and time. You can stamp it. It makes it really easy, man, to kind of do it. But my time section is usually what I use. I don't usually like to use like the entire mix kind of thing. It just saves me time to do it this way. I hope that answered that question. Yeah, feed the cat. Feed the cat scripts. He has some that's really, really cool, man. He's like one of my favorite script writers for sure. Billy is here. What's up, man? Is there any way quick bounce in place? Of course there is. um so let's say I wanted to do this one that I have solo, this note here. So I can right click on here and I can go render freeze track. So you have a couple of options here, right? So the render tracks will actually just make a whole new track or lane. Basically, it'll just break down the wave and then you still have your MIDI available, right? The freeze track allows you to just make the whole entire track into an audio file. So I usually like to do the render track in the stereo. And as you see, the new stuff will pull up and then boom, I have my stereo one right here. It looks like it did like everything because I had all of them highlighted. So it did all of them. So yeah, it's just that simple and easy. So all of them are actually done. So you can even go and hide like the MIDI tracks, or you can just move them if you wanted to. So I can move this up, move the bass up, and then I can right click on here and go to my track manager, right? And I can hide. You see, it tells me these are stems and these are the actual tracks with the MIDI. So I can hide all of them from this track section and from the mixer. So now I just have audio files really quickly inside of Reaper. It will do this extra dragging over, but you can just always pull that back or cut it off if you wanted to. I hope that made sense. Yes, man, you don't understand how many times I've actually use this for like when I'm doing like the TV film stuff. Like I'll be separating, I'll have like a whole bunch of tabs up here at the top of all the tracks that I've been making. I'll go to the render, put the slash in there so I'll know which track is going in which folder and have all those folders on my desktop. So when I'm ready to send them off to like the libraries or anything, all that stuff is already ready for me. Super, super cool. But yeah, I think that's really an easy way to kind of get all your notes and stuff set up on here. And the MIDI. No problem, Billy. But I'm gonna actually delete these. Right. Let's go back to the track manager. Bring these back. That way I can just see them on here and right. Is there a way to export time markers with stems? Yeah. You can do regions, and I believe you can do markers as well. I don't usually do markers, just to be honest with you, but I believe you have an option in here for markers. I know regions for sure. You can do like render regions, and I think, yeah. So all project markers. So right here you have an option for markers. So if you wanted to put markers in here, or you can just do the selected markers, so you can select whatever markers you want to, and you can render by that as well. I would say the what is it? The region one is the one I'd probably use, just because the region matrix makes it a little easier. Like I feel like it's easier to do regions than it is to do markers. Well, that's just me, but you can actually do it here. As you can see, it says markers, or you can do it by all project markers if you wanted to as well. And it'll basically split up those markers from what I remembered. Is it M to put a marker? Yeah. All right. So I have 3 markers, and I should be able to go to all markers. And you see it's rendering 3 files just from that. So I have it on my master mix. So the master mix is going to be all the tracks, and it'll split by the markers. You can just render those out. You can even do like a dry run of the output, which is really cool now that they have this on here. So now you can see all 3 of the dry run outputs, and it's telling me that, it's going to be spiking. I really like the fact that they added this on here where you can kind of move around inside the track to where your stuff is. I thought that was pretty cool. And you can just choose another one, and it'll move it around. Super fire, yo. I think that update was really, really dope. And then you can just hit the render if you wanted to render them out. Hopefully that answered that question. Council of Giants. What's good, man? Thank you for joining. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm trying to do a Q&A to just get some questions out the way that you guys may have. I know I'm not usually on here asking, so today I've decided let's go through and answer some questions if I can. No problem. Yeah, I mean, the rendering in Reaper is ridiculous, man. I mean, if you haven't already, you should definitely check out my export video that I have for it, and I go step by step, all the things in here, all these drop downs in here. I go over like your output stuff, your rendering and how many files it is, your sample rate, the second pass render. I like to use the second pass just so if I have like an effect that's not always starting on time, when it does the second pass, it'll actually include that effect in there, so you don't have to worry about like your effects not working correctly on the track. Or if you get like a MIDI that takes a long time to kind of load up, usually by the end of the track it should be playing, and then when it starts over for the second pass, that instrument will start playing correctly. So I really like that second pass thing that they have set up on here. Now, of course, you can't forget about metadata, because you need metadata for certain things. And I have mine are automatically kind of set up to do my name and a picture, contact information, that kind of stuff is automatically set up anytime I do a render on here. Constructive criticism. Oh, the mic volume is kind of low compared. It's possible. I don't even know. What do I have this at? I have to really check it out. But yeah, I guess if you guys have like other questions, let me know. Have a feature where you can get split stems, instruments, vocals, etc. External song, like they have in FL Studio. I'm not 100% sure. You mean like if you pull in like a whole track, do you have like a stem splitting separation kind of thing? Currently, Reaper does not have that. Will they have it later on? I don't know. Will someone make a script for it? It's possible. The CB experiment was good. Thank you for joining, man. Let me know if you have like any questions. Hopefully, you guys have some other questions. But yeah, they don't have the stem separation inside of Reaper. I know Studio 1.7 just got the stem separation, which is pretty cool. And it's kind of interesting because like I don't think like Reaper is like really geared toward like DJing kind of thing. And usually that's what the stem separation is for like DJs to kind of pull out acapellas and drums and things like that to kind of get mixes done. That's usually what stem separation is really for. But other people use it for sampling, which is cool. But there's a lot of sites out there you can kind of go to and get stem separation. But Reaper currently doesn't have that option, at least not that I know of. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section. I'll check it out. But yeah, really, really good DAW. Low CPU usage. Kind of does all the things that I needed to do. This Media Explorer is like one of the best ones out there, at least to me. because just because it just does so much. And the people who make these scripts, man, they are so amazing, yo. Some of the scripts that these guys are making. And so you're using Cthulhu on Reaper? Yeah, that one is that the one that does like the chords on there? I think that's that tool that does the chords. I got what you were saying. Cthulhu. I remember that one. I actually like Ripcord a little bit better than Cthulhu, and I can kind of give you some reasons why. Right. So let's do this. I'll just make a new tab, right? And I'm gonna add the piano. And then I'll just go to this effects right here, right? My input effects, and I'm gonna pull up Ripcord. So Ripcord allows you to pull any MIDI you want to inside of it. So if, let's say you have, what is that thing called? Like a Unison MIDI pack or something, right? Let me see, where's my MIDI? MIDI files I have here, right? So let's say Unison, right? You have all these Unison ones in here. You can go to your like settings and import MIDI files. And it makes it really simple to kind of add them in here. And if you go to your presets, then you have all of them in here. These are all the MIDI chord packs and things that I have. So even if you go to Cymatics, you can just drag your MIDI in here and you can kind of just have them on different tracks. Right? So they made it really, really easy to kind of create. Even if you want to like create your own stuff, you can go like to the edit part and kind of make your own chords. So if I wanted to do this note here, right, and I wanted to do, right, I can just kind of add it on there. So now when you hit that key, you'll get that note. Is it this one? All right, so now it should be in there. So now when I hit this note, that's the note I just created. And it's just that simple to kind of make your own notes in here. And then you have like your, this is for your velocity, to give it an offset for velocity. This is how you strum right here. So if you want to strum a note, then the further you go, the further the strum. And you can go back and forth with it, or you can go from right to left, right? So here's the back and forth. So really, really simple to kind of use, kind of get what you want. You can even like record in your own stuff if you wanted to. So that's why I would like prefer Ripcord over Cthulhu, just because Cthulhu, I think you got to pay for a lot of those chord packs that they have in there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it does chords. Yeah, definitely use. I have a video showing you how to use Ripcord as well. So if you are checking out this channel, I have a whole video about Ripcord. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get in it. Like, I mean, you can do like star for stuff. You can star your sounds. Once you go to this presets button here, this is where all your presets are. And if you wanted to star something, you can just star it. Like, it's not like really hard. You can even do like a playlist now, where you can actually add like, so if you wanted to add like minor chords, right? You can do you just create a tag for it, and now anything on the minor will come in there, right? So if you add something to it, you just kind of check it off, like geez, I think do you drag it up there? I don't remember. I think it just, do you just start? Oh, there it goes. All right, so you hit the check mark and you would choose whatever ones, I believe. Yeah, there you go. So let's say all of those are minors. So now when you hit on minor, all of those that you chose are in there. So that's really like a cool way to kind of do it. Yeah. What I don't know is how to remove it. I haven't really been through here to mess with this, because I usually, oh, there it goes. I can delete it there. Delete. All right. So there's that. So then you can just kind of choose whatever progression you want. And then you have it. I think it's pretty easy to use. Like I said, if you have any issues with it, let me know. Like I said, I have a video for it. So if you want to check it out, definitely check that out. Ordering the Media Explorer files, folders, subfolders, databases. Sometimes I get confused to find samples. Okay. Me personally, I kind of separate mines. Like I know what goes where. Like my new kits folder is where I usually have any of my new kits that I have. And as you can see, all these kits in here are what I have. So I know I've created a database for like my X.E.L Smash Kit stuff. If you haven't already, I think I have a link below in the description of this video. If you want to download the Smash Kit, it's absolutely free. And I have them in a database. So now all of these are in a database. I have my one shots in a database. So all of my one shots that I would probably use are all in here. So, right. So this gives me a really easy way to kind of find stuff that I kind of use all the time. And it's not hard to make these. You can just kind of, let's see, let's go to new kits, right? And let's say I wanted to do this J Cactus one, right? So I can right click on it and I can make it a database, right? I can add it to the shortcut list, which is, this is the shortcut list here. I can even copy it. I can rename it. I can delete it. You know, like I can do a lot of things in here, but let's say you just wanted, you wanted this one, you can just kind of drag it over there if you wanted to. You can see the plus sign and it'll drag it over there. I think it should. Where did it go? It didn't go. Why didn't it go? See, yeah, it got me telling fibs. So I guess I got to add a shortcut list, and there it goes. It's over here now. So now if I open up that, it'll have the other subfolders underneath it, and, you know, drums and right. So that's one kind of way to do it. And let's remove this. You just remove the shortcut and it's gone. Good, fun way to do stuff. I mean, I don't have an issue kind of finding stuff. I usually find stuff really easy, but I don't really look through files like this anymore. I just, if I know what I'm looking for, if I say I want like a kick or a drum loop. So if I do drum loop, it'll pull up all the folders that have drum loops in them, right? And I have some favorited already. But the list goes on. Like there's a whole bunch of drum loops that I can kind of choose from, as you can see. So it just makes it a lot easier with the search feature. I think the search feature is amazing. Makes it a lot easier for me. All right. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Mushy brain. I really wouldn't suggest one. I mean, if you have the money, I say get a Mac. If you have the money, get a high performance PC, like one of them gaming ones, or a gaming laptop. Something that has good specs. That's. I mean, you don't necessarily need something that's like really, above average to run Reaper. Like Reaper will run on almost anything. So that's one of the great things about Reaper. You don't really have to worry about your PC messing up and stuff just because it doesn't have enough power. Because you got to think Reaper will run off of a flash drive. So if you can put a flash drive in a computer, then it should run it. That's how minute and small it is. Hulk is listening. That's a dope name. How do you do drums in the piano roll? I mean, it would be like you would do in any other drums. Like if you wanted to, let's say I did let's do some hi-hats, right? So these are from my Smash kit and from my Basics kit. Let's use this one. So if I double click in here, it'll add a Resamplematic 5000. I have mine set up that way. You can actually set this up really easy. You can just right click on here. And of course, I wouldn't know right off the bat where it would be. Let's see, where is it at? Insert. How did I set this up? What did I do to set this up? I don't remember. I do have a video showing you how to do it though. This is why I make videos, because I forget how to do things. But yeah, so basically you just kind of using the Resamplematic 5000. If I go and let's make a MIDI item. So there's different ways to make MIDI items. I have several shortcuts. If I double click in here, it'll make mines. You may not have yours set up that way. So if you wanted to, you can just right click and, what is it? Right click and drag. What is it? They're gonna make me into a liar. Is it control? Yeah, all right, sorry. So it's control and you can kind of drag and it'll make a MIDI item, or you can do insert and then go to new MIDI item and make a MIDI item, right? So several people in this community, they do it a totally different way. Some of them use shapes, right? So they'll use like this diamond shape, right? To make a, okay, why is it not doing it? Anyway, usually they use like these diamond shapes to kind of make them, but I used to just stick with the regular box. So let's say I wanted to do like a, I guess like a straight 16 or whatever. I can hold down Control and Shift and kind of just draw them in, right? It's just that, it just kind of matters how you want to do it. And then here you can, change your minimum velocity and notes and all that stuff in here to make a drum pattern if you wanted to. So let's say you wanted to put a snare. I can double click on a snare. And here's my snare. So I can just make a MIDI item. So I know I want the snare there, right? So I can duplicate this and it'll make it over here. I mean, it's just like any other like DAW inside the piano roll, making snare rolls and stuff like that. It's not any different than any other DAW. The difference is like if you're coming from FL Studio, like you have to double click to add a note. Whereas in FL Studio, the one click will add a note. You just double click and you add a note in here. It's not much different from Ableton or any of the other DAWs that's out there. Hopefully that answered that question. I mean, if you're spending like $2,000, it might as well, you can get a Mac. I'd get a Mac. I've never had one, but I'd probably get one. Or I'd get another gaming computer. Right now I have like a gaming laptop that I run all this stuff on. So like if I'm doing like a show that I need to kind of drag this along with me, I can do that if I need to. So it just makes it a little bit more convenient. But yeah, so I mean, it just has, you can set this up however you want to. If you wanted to use like some kind of like sampler or something, like I usually have my complete control stuff to do my kits, or you can do like Satilla. So I have a Satilla kit, so I can use that. It's on the other screen because it doesn't like being on the real screen. And none of my sounds are coming through. Why is that? Still, it doesn't want to play nice. All right, I understand. Remove. Let's do this the other way. There's a lot of different samplers you can kind of use. I do like Satilla though. It just makes it a lot easier. And then you can always use like your kits that you have. Right. So these are like my kits that I made from my Smash kit. So yeah, I mean, it's just like any other DAW. I mean, really, it just is. So if I do an insert MIDI, right? What's cool about Satilla, it'll give me the kick, the name of the stuff. So let's slow this down. It's way too fast. All right. Right. So I'm not going to duplicate these over. Of course, that's wrong. Right. And then I can just duplicate these over. right? So just that simple to kind of make a nice little drum pattern. Yeah, I believe it. Just switch from FL. Took me 6 days to completely customize it. uh, but the DAW is really hard to do stuff. Well, I mean, it's, you know, it matters how you use FL Studio. If you use like the what is it called, the step sequencer, then I mean, you would probably want to use either what is it called? I don't remember what it's called right now. There's one that you can actually put inside of Reaper. I have a video on it, I think. I'm pretty sure I have a video on it where I have my FL Studio comparison videos comparing FL to Reaper. And yeah, I show you like ways to get a step sequencer inside of Reaper. If you are familiar with that and you want to use it that way. If you want to use the FL skin, make it look like FL and kind of function like it, you know, you can do all that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Reaper. I mean, I've been a FL user for a very, very long time. I switched over to Cakewalk, and from Cakewalk to Reaper, and I'm probably not gonna switch again. I do want to try Studio 1.7 just to kind of see how it is, but I'm pretty much probably gonna stick with Reaper. It just makes more sense to me. All right, so. I think that'll work. Let's duplicate these over, right? Stretch this out. Let's get this MIDI in here. So let's pull these down. All right. Right, so it's kind of, you know, just that simple to kind of make stuff in here. All right, so I guess let me know if you guys have any other questions before we jump off here. Now I can have your Tuesday back. I know these things are random that I've been popping up on here on YouTube kind of doing, but just kind of want to help out as much as I can and Sometimes it's random times. And then we can just do let's see. Let's do some action pads. Appreciate it. You said your peak meter doesn't automatically adjust in its volume to different levels. To the signal coming. And just analyze the highest peak and stay there. Set meter decay. Analyze new signal automatically. There's a way to do it. Question is, how do you want to do it? So basically when you right click on it, so like this is my master over here on this right hand corner. So if I right click in here, it brings up this window. I don't know if you guys can really see it. It's probably really small. You can change, you know, how you want it. So yours might be on peak only or something. And it's kind of matters how you want your stuff to show. So you might have it on like the short term or the LUFs. I mean, you could have probably changed it. I don't know. But yeah, but this is where you would actually go and kind of mess with the mastering meters. I mean, the other place would be in your preferences and where would it be? Is it peaks and waveforms? Track meters. There we go. So in here, you would have like another way to kind of do it. Return display pre-fade levels. So like you have options in here. And this is in preferences, track meters. And it's kind of, mess around with it. The sticky clip indicator, that might be what it is. This kind of matters how you want it to actually be. But you see, it should be either right clicking on the meter and doing it that way or going through your preferences. DK, what's good, man? You're not using the new one? I mean, there's not much difference in the new one and the old one. Like, they have a newer layout. Like this layout here is a little newer. But I mean, everything else, you can change the layout back to the 16 pads like you had it before. I mean, it's not anything really that much different about it. They kind of added what did they add in here? It wasn't much though. I think they find the samples a lot easier now in here. because it was like a little harder to find samples, and I think they gave it a little bit more editing power to like edit the sample itself. They make it a little bit easier to kind of move things around. I mean, but other than that, there's not much. Like you still have your same shaping options and velocity and volume and compression. All that stuff is the same. You can still create kits. So I mean, there's not much different about it. So I mean, if you don't want to support them, you don't have to. But if you want to support the people who make it, then that's basically what this is about. So they added new kits. That's what they did. They added some kits in here too. So there's this factory kit. So they have the old one comes with this clean 808. They have this future retro and this hip hop one in here now. So those are some of the things that they've added for the one you have to pay for. Hopefully that answers that question. Arthur, what's good? Is there a way to show an audio waveform in the Docker? What do you mean an audio waveform in the Docker? So you mean like if I pull in like a sample or something? Let's see. Let's go. Let's go J Cactus, right? Right. So if I had this in here, right? You saying you want this as just a waveform inside of Reaper? Inside the Docker. The only way that I know you can kind of do it is if you're using this MK slicer. It'll bring it up down here, right? And you'll have it inside your Docker. And this is just basically a way you can kind of chop up the sample. You can put it into MIDI form. You can, you know, change your start and end points, you know, for the sample itself. You can do slices on it. You can do it by grid. You can do it by transient. So if you want to do it by transient, it'll do it by transient. I have a whole video on this MK slicer if you are interested in watching that as well. But right now, this is probably one of the only ways that I know to kind of pull up the wave, unless you're gonna use the sampler and put it in the docking. So let's say where is it at? Let's just use another one, for example. Right? So if I double click on this, it's gonna bring up my Resamplematic 5000. So you can pull it up in here and kind of, you know, do whatever you wanted to do with the sample itself. You also have it inside of your media player, right? So I'm gonna undock it, right? Just so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna undock it. I'm gonna make it bigger. And I'm gonna raise up this here, right? So I can bring up this, and it can be docked down here if you wanted to dock it down here. And I can bring up that same sample. And let's say I just wanted this part here. I can just take just that part there if I wanted to. And then you can do a pitching for it. You can pitch it up, you can pitch it down. I can half time it. So if I hit on this button right here, this will half time it. So if I play it, right? If I wanted to double time, I can click on this one and it'll double time the one in the middle. Right? And if I want it to be the regular tempo that the sample is originally in, I'll just make sure all three of these are unchecked and I play it. Or let's say I wanted to go to the tempo of my track, which is 95. I can click on this first one and it'll automatically match the sample to the tempo. Right? So this makes it a lot easier to kind of do it. So like I said, you can dock this down here in the bottom if you wanted to for your just Explorer. But I like mine's on the side. So I'll usually leave mine's on the side here. So yeah, that is how you would do that. uh, what what is your shortcut to duplicate notes? You mean notes in the piano roll, or you mean notes like if I had like a kick or something? So if I had like, let's say I have a kick, right? I drag this, put it in the timeline if it lets me, which it doesn't look like it wants to do. All right, so I have my kick here, right? I'll close that out. So we have a kick here. Let's make it bigger. Right, so I have my kick here, and let's say I wanted to duplicate this. I can hit Control and D, and it'll duplicate it right after it. Let's say I wanted to move it to this section here. I can hold down Control and click, left click, and drag it, and that'll move it over. I made a, well, not, I didn't really make a script, but there's a script that I have put together where I can just click on here, and if I go to this section here, I can just hold down Control, and you see it changes it to a pencil, and I can just add kicks wherever I want to add them. Right, kind of like, you know, you can do it like side of FL Studio. So those are like the ways you would want to do it, or you can do it, I should say. I have a video showing you exactly how to set this up. If you are interested, you have to look through the list of videos for Reaper. And I believe it's one that says how to move notes or something like that. Set up the layout like that. Your MIDI Explorer on the left, mixer on the left, bottom, piano roll. Yeah. So if you wanted to do this, you can, Reaper gives you an option to kind of move things anywhere you want them to be, right? So for this master track, I kind of set it to the right hand side. So you can move them by docking, right? So I docked the master, and then I just kind of moved it over to this side. And if you get it to where it's not moving over, usually if you right click, it'll allow it to move over. All right, so let me use this as an example. This is my my meters to show me how performance, right? So if I hold down Control and I click on this, you see it has like a blue line there, which means that it'll move to there, that section. It'll move to this section, right? You see that big blue line? I could put it down here to the bottom if I just let go of the Control button. It'll move it down here to the bottom, right? I can move it to the left hand side if I wanted to. You see it'll go down here to the bottom of the screen. Hopefully I can see that. But yeah, this gives you, when you hold down Control, it'll allow you to move it to different places, right? So if I wanted to go all the way to the side, you have to just hold down Control. But if I don't hold down Control, it's just going to put it right above the Explorer. So that's how you can kind of move things around inside of Reaper. Of course that would happen. Why wouldn't that happen, right? So right now I just went down to the docking. So if I wanted to bring it back to where I had it, I can go here. If you see the little bar there, and it should go back, but it doesn't want to. Why does it want to? Always when you're online, right? Why did it do that? All right, So yeah, so there it goes to the side. So you can make these kind of how you want to. At times it's a little finicky. Um, but the customization is utterly ridiculous inside of Reaper. Just to, reiterate that. I think I just had it with the one there. Yeah. But yeah, you can move stuff wherever you want to in here. You can have it at the top of the screen. You can have it on the side. Um, you can have your mixer, floating if you wanted to. You can have your MIDI floating if you want to. If I wanted to, see, I can make it to full screen. So like it just, matters however you want to make it work. For example, if I have an item, a louder peak at -6 dB, I have to make it lower to -2 dB. Should be show -8 in the peak meter, but it says -6. I need to click the meter every time. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So like it's keeping the old value instead of resetting itself. See, mine stays there too. I don't usually mess with it, just to be honest. But you should be able to do it to where it'll reset it. I know someone had one where it would do it, but I just don't remember who it was on who has a video on it. But I do remember seeing a video of someone doing that for the meters. I can probably look more into it and see if I can create a video, but currently I don't remember off the top of my head who had that video. It might have been Kenny. So if you haven't gone through Kenny's videos to try to find it, then I don't know. All right, that's what's up. No problem. Lewis, what's good, man? Thank you for joining. Taking the Purchase Reaper, I want to make sure that works all the third-party plugins. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Lewis, if your plugin doesn't work in Reaper, then that plugin does not work. It works with everything, man. So if you have clap plugins, it works. If you have JS plugins, which is Reaper's kind of scripting thing, if you have VST3, VSTI, even if you have DX stuff. So I have some DXI instruments from Cakewalk, and they work in here as well. So even like my DX effects, they work in here. So like everything just works. I don't even know how to explain it. It just works in here. So if you do have any issues with plugins, I guess let me know so I can kind of see what's going on as well, because I haven't had any. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You'll get lost with Kenny, man. He got so many videos, yo. I mean, like he has so many videos. But if you find yourself getting stuck on something, usually he does have a video for it. Whereas like I'm still kind of starting up. I don't think I even have I don't know if I even have like 200 videos. I think he has like 1,000 videos or some nonsense like that, yo. But yeah. He's definitely the Reaper encyclopedia. But he doesn't do lives, so there's that. I think his whole chat would blow up if he if he did a live Q&A. Classic Hank in the building. What's good, man? I'm over here just talking about Reaper, man. Um, I guess let me know if you have any questions. I have I guess a little bit more time on here. It's like 5 minutes, and I'll probably jump off here and try to see what my family's doing. They're probably yelling at me now in the background somewhere. Um, but yeah. Uh, yeah. No, that's what's up. So I guess let me know if you have any questions, Hank. Just kind of going through. This is supposed to be like a Q&A. I probably made like 2 beats on here. Answered a couple questions, but yeah, let me know. What is the best approach to add a filter? ADSR envelope to resamplematic 5000 instance. Like using sampler occasionally, I want to filter to control the sound. Just put it after. I mean, really, like you can just put it after the resamplematic. So where did I have that resamplematic at? So I mean, like I have a snare here. I guess that's not that great of an example, but yeah, you just put an effect after it. Put a reverb or some kind of filter. Let's see what I have. Quick effect. I'm just going to use this re-EQ for an example, right? So I have my snare. Oh, I have this on the hi-hat. Okay, cool. So hi-hat. Same thing you would do in like almost any other situation. Just kind of put it after it. And you can even like automate this to make it do like something like this. If you wanted to do that, like it just matters what you want to do. Like you can always automate anything in here in Reaper pretty much. And if you're not sure how to do the automation, you can just click on this button here that has the envelopes. You click on that and you have a plethora of different things you can use with whatever plugin you have on there. So this is the actual Resamplematic 5000. This is the track envelope for just the regular pan width and stuff like that. And down here is the re-EQ. So if you have like, you know, a knob that you just pressed or something like that, you can always add, you know, a lane for it if you wanted to. So really, really easy to kind of do filters. If that's the question. I hope that's the question. I hope I answered that. So what are you trying to do then? Like what are you yeah, I say just put it on after it. That's probably the easiest way. Just put whatever you're trying to filter on after it. And if you wanted to do like automation for it to kind of turn it on and off, just do automation for it. I think that's probably the easiest way. Or, you know, you can double click in here and add effects to this side of the Resamplematic 5000. It's not um, it's not hard to do. At least that's how I approach it. I don't, everybody approaches things a different way. I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. All right, Hulk. Peace. And I'm going to jump off here myself. I'll take one more last question if anyone has a question. Other than that, I'm going to jump off here as well. Let me make sure I save this one. I don't know why I'm going to save it, but I'm going to save it anyway. You just never know. It's funny because sometimes I'll go back through these like live tracks that I made and find some pretty nice gems in there and just kind of build something else off of it. I think this is more of a hip hop vibe. Mm-hmm. All right. If there is no questions, then we will jump off of here. I appreciate everybody for stopping by, asking questions. I want to try to do these more often, but time permits. Certain things don't happen the way you want them to. So there's that. Looking for a MIDI triggered filter. So you can use RSVK like a synth. But I'll try using. You want to use it as a synth? You can do it, man. Like, yeah, if you use it with automation, I think that'll be powerful for sure. But I mean, like, let's say you do like a one shot of a sound. So let's go in here. Let's do, let's say a keys, right? So I have it in my Resamplematic 5000. It's only going to one key right now. So let's do. It should be playing. Am I on the right track? Where is it at? Yeah. Do I have something soloed? Yeah, I do. I'm like, why is it not playing? All right, so I'm gonna do obey note off. So now I can. And I can play notes, right? So let's say I wanted it to be, let's go ripcord, right? And let's say I want to do this chords. Right? So you have an option to, kind of just play chords. From just a one shot. I mean, you don't need like much else than Resamplematic 5000. So if you have like one shots that you kind of want to make into instruments, you can do it. You can change like even the max voices. So like if you need it more than 8, you can change it to like 16 if you needed to. Usually it's pretty good at detecting the pitch. So you don't necessarily have to worry about kind of the pitch stuff on there. What else is there? Yeah. So should be pretty easy to kind of get that going. And if you add automation to this, then that just makes it even more more powerful. If you wanted to do it that way. But yeah. But Resamplematic 5000, definitely the way to go. I need to remember how to there it goes, options. And then I put it on insert media into a sample player on a new track. So that's how I have mine set up. Someone asked earlier and I just couldn't remember how I did it. And of course, they're probably not even in here anymore, and that's how you would do it. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to jump over here. I appreciate your time. And I will see y'all on the next time. Thank you for watching Learning Reaper. Peace out.